AITA for rolling my eyes at my boyfriend's proposal because it took 25 years of me begging? I am not op. Original post by a throwaway account on r AITAH. Trigger warnings. Financial abuse. Less than mood spoilers. Sad ending. Less than. AITA for rolling my eyes at my boyfriend's proposal because it took 25 years of me begging? December 19th. 2023. Yesterday after dinner my 52F boyfriend of 30 years, 53M, proposed to me. He just walked towards me holding a box and said to open it. It was a ring and I had pictured this moment a million different times but never thought I'd be so apathetic. My boyfriend then said that he was retired now and wants to kick back and enjoy life with me, and would love to do it all with me as his wife. A nice speech and all, but from the 5-year mark of our relationship onwards, I had been making clear my deep desire to marry, and was consistently dismissed, given empty promises, gaslit. We had been through the gamut with therapy, and one counselor implied that me telling him we needed to go to therapy and getting his butt on the couch still means nothing if his mind has been made up. I was in denial about the fact he was just giving me the false illusion of progress to stall. My boyfriend and I have 4 kids. The oldest 3 are adults, while the youngest is 15F, was sleeping over elsewhere when this all went down. All of our kids went to a private school filled with typical Southern soccer parents. I had to endure PTA moms' jabs about me not sharing a last name with my kids. Preteen years were hell because the other kids would taunt my kids by saying, "Your dad would rather sin and go to hell than marry your mom." My BF's mom would tell him marriage would be selfish on my part. It is just a piece of paper. My BF ended up rising up the ranks until he became an executive. I was a SOM, so I felt like there was always a power imbalance. Exasperated by the fact I could be tossed any time, I partly did stay because I wanted my kids to have the best life and because I felt lucky and proud to be partnered with such an intelligent, successful man, but also because I loved him. These past few years my boyfriend's career has taken a downturn. He will never be poor, but the company he was part of took a nosedive during 2020 and he had made enemies out of associates, board members. He decided to step back from his role and take the generous severance agreed upon. Now he is living off his investments and wants to relax. I did not like how his career ended and how he treated people, and had been deciding whether I wanted to leave and find somebody else after our youngest turns 18. So the proposal was a shock because I should hope that he noticed I have avoided conversations about the future as of late. He rattles on about downsizing our house so we can travel and also cutting back on our other expenses. But we're not married, so it's all his money, house anyway. He did notice my eye roll and was offended. He asked what's wrong, and I said that suddenly now that he's downsizing I'm good enough to marry. He got mad and said that now that he's downsizing and no longer an executive, I suddenly think our relationship is disrespectful, and started implying I was a gold digger. I was so angry I walked out and said I might just go out looking for a respectful relationship, because I don't know what respect is anymore. AITA? Update December 19th, 2023. At the time of my original post, my boyfriend and I had not spoken since the engagement fight. I've been with him long enough to know that when he goes and closes the bedroom door before I get in, that's a signal that I should sleep in one of the guest rooms, so I did that. However, this morning I broke the ice. I told him about how dismissed I felt over the years. I also said that we are both in our 50s and these last few years have taught us that people at work who kiss the ground you walk on one day can easily turn on you the next. And true partners in life are valuable and hard to find. So I wished he'd treat me like I'm valued. Instead he treats me like he thinks prettier, better, and just as loving is always around the corner. I apologized for the eye roll but told him that if he wants marriage, I want a quick committed timeline and genuine happiness from him to be marrying me. I don't need a big party. He listened to me and finally asked if this was about the money, security. He told me that being an executive's girlfriend required things of me, but if I wanted to work I could have. He said he doesn't think I'm grateful enough for the position in society I was in due to his career, but that he's not mad about the eye roll. He said he didn't succeed by being that sensitive. He went on to say I was not his prisoner so I can leave at any time, but to remember he won't tolerate being made my prisoner either via manipulation. He said that, for what it's worth, the engagement ring is mine and I could do whatever I wanted with it. He will also not be accused of not providing for his daughter, so be assured he won't shirk child support. But that he felt what I said before was emotional blackmail. So he no longer wants to go forward with marrying but says if I'd like to travel with him that's fine. Him traveling is non-negotiable, and so if I wanted to get a job it would have to be a remote job. It was a sad conversation and I spent a few hours alone after that. I felt I had nothing to lose, so I just asked him if he would support me getting an associate's, but that most associates for technical careers were in person. He then dropped the bombshell that if I wasn't traveling with him he wasn't going to go those periods without sex. I was astounded by his callousness because he's back to take it or leave it. We fought again with me saying we're all feeling the effects of age. I've supported him through health issues, and if he thinks he can just find somebody who has that loyalty I've shown him, he's wrong. At this point I'm looking for ways out. I can't say I haven't been tempted to say I'll travel with him and try to get a remote job, but also realize how resentful I am that he continues to need to have the power in the relationship. I don't think I'll ever know my value truly, but something telling me there has to be better out there, at least in a partner. Reminder, I am not the original poster. Some people need to learn to love themselves. Without a doubt one of the most hopeless posts I've ever seen on that sub. This woman is absolutely screwed either way. This one was rough. Especially OP's comment about getting a part-time job to pay for a car and an apartment. Oh honey. OP has chosen the worst possible moment to grow a spine. This is so sad. The guy is treating this like a business transaction. The comments on her original post were gold. Many women shared their own experiences and showed her a glimpse of the heartbreaking, dark, grim future ahead of her. Had to be said. I feel bad for OP, but also, where is the self-respect? She is so screwed, and not in a good way. Being a SOM is risky enough, but being a SOM without marriage has set this woman up for a life of extreme poverty if she is on her own. She's trapped, no matter what she does, either by being dependent on this bastard or by leaving him when she has no education and no job experience in her 50s. And she clearly doesn't realize it. Based on her comments, I see too many young women setting themselves up for this same situation. OMG, I just read the oops comment history. Reality is going to smack her in the face so hard. She's going to fall for every resume scam, for profit education, WFH scam. She made so many bad choices in life, is completely naive to how the world works. She's going to end up being the burden mother to her adult children. And this, kids, is why we should all have our own bank accounts, savings, and a job. Hate to say it, but marrying him would have been the easiest path for her. He's an absolute scumbag, but she has nothing to her name. Her best bet would have been to marry him for the financial stability and then cross her fingers, hoping he died before her. At 53 with no work experience or education, her prospects are grim. She will have a really rough time finding a job and will work until she dies because she has nothing to fall back on. This is why common law is so important and other states should adopt it. And this is one of the many reasons why marriage isn't just a piece of paper. It is a legal document that is meant to protect both parties who enter it. Marriage laws would have saved her. Him. What you said before amounts to emotional blackmail. And I refuse to be in a relationship with that kind of manipulation. Also him. If you don't come with me on this trip, I'm going to cheat on you. Man. What a pos. This is terrible in so many different ways. Man or woman, no one should be dependent on their partner. You don't know who they'll be in 2030 years. It sounds cynical, I know, but God, I just can't imagine being helpless. To anyone that say, marriage is just a paper, let me ask you something. Why are you so adamant to not getting the paper done if it's truly just a paper? I mean, you can just go to courthouse and say that you two has married. It shouldn't be taking a whole day long. Just skip the ceremony if you both don't like it. Let this be warning to always be independent financially as a woman. Especially if he never marry you. Oop is 50 plus. Has no social security credits. No 401k. Likely no savings. Has no skills. No work history. And lives in the South where minimum wage is still $7.25 hours. Life is gonna be hard for her. She should have immediately taken that ring and signed that paper. Now she will be left destitute either way if she stays or leaves. No protections. This is what common law marriage exists for. He literally said the only reason he's kept her around is to be his arm candy and to have sex. Jesus. This woman made one incredibly stupid decision after another over 30 years. I want to feel sorry for her. But he's spent his life never loving or committing to anything except for the pursuit of money and power. And so naturally he projects onto her that she feels the same. How sad. I hope she realizes that if she wants real love and a meaningful connection to a partner, that it's not too late to her, but she's going to have to find it elsewhere. That he's just not capable of those things.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.